There's a saying, God is never late and he is never early. He is always right on time. But what does it mean to truly trust God's timing? In a world that runs on schedules, deadlines, and the constant pressure to be in control, trusting his clock can feel like an impossible task. Hey there. Welcome to this video where we explore the beauty, the power, and yes, even the challenge of trusting God's perfect timing. If you're feeling anxious, uncertain, or like things just aren't happening the way you planned, this message is for you. We live in a world that tells us that we need to act now. We're surrounded by instant gratification, fast food, fast information, fast decisions. But with God, things don't always happen as quickly as we'd like. Maybe you've been praying for something, a breakthrough in your career, healing for a loved one, or even clarity about your future. And yet, nothing seems to be moving. Silence, waiting, and waiting some more. But here's where the miracle comes in. God doesn't work according to our clock. He works according to His. And His timing is perfect, even when we can't see it. You see, in every moment of waiting, God is working behind the scenes. He's aligning events, preparing hearts, and setting the stage for something greater than we could ever imagine. There's a beautiful story in the Bible about Lazarus. Mary and Martha asked Jesus to come quickly because their brother was dying. But Jesus didn't arrive until Lazarus had already been dead for 4 days. From a human perspective, it seemed like Jesus was too late, but in God's plan, He was right on time. Because through Lazarus, Jesus demonstrated His power over death itself. The miracle wouldn't have been the same without the waiting. Maybe your situation feels hopeless, like God is running late. But what if I told you that your waiting season isn't wasted? What if God is preparing something for you that's far greater than you ever imagined? When we learn to trust His clock, we begin to see the miracles hidden in the delay. We begin to trust that He is working all things together for our good, even when it doesn't feel like it. Think about Joseph in the Bible. He was sold into slavery by his own brothers, thrown into prison for something he didn't do, and spent years in a dark and confusing waiting period. From Joseph's point of view, it must have felt like God had forgotten him. But all along, God was preparing Joseph to rise to a position of influence that would not only save his family, but an entire nation. God's plan didn't unfold instantly. It took years. Yet in the end, it was perfect. And that's how it often is for us. Maybe you're waiting for the right job, the right opportunity, or even the right relationship. We want it to happen now. But sometimes, God has something better in mind, something that takes time to prepare. His timing is not just about the when, it's about the what He's preparing for you and what He's preparing you for. God doesn't operate on human deadlines. His plan for your life is intricately woven into His perfect timeline. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." Your story is no exception. God's not late. He's simply setting the stage for something greater. So what do you do in the waiting? Keep praying, keep trusting, keep believing that God is working, even when you don't see it. Faith is not just believing that God can do it. It's trusting that God will do it when the time is right. And during that time, focus on growing in the process. Waiting is not passive. It's a time of preparation. Maybe this waiting season is shaping your character, teaching you patience, or drawing you closer to God in ways that you wouldn't have experienced otherwise. What seems like a delay to us is often a season of growth and transformation. When the time comes, the pieces will fall into place, and you'll understand why God made you wait. Remember, God's timing is always perfect. If you're in a season of waiting, trust His clock. The miracle is coming, right on time. If this message encouraged you today, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's continue to trust His clock together. Until next time, keep the faith.